You can always say,
you know what I'm saying? They couldn't never. It was like they couldn't never beat this school called Saddleback. It was like they recruited me from New York. They recruited a player from Philly. You know, dog. When I say like they finally got over that hump, we made it to like the Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken, and the state championship in the states. And then wind up losing to a team that wind up ultimately winning the whole thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it was like
y'all know this. Sing with me. I was always this hard, nigga. My heart still couple thousand till I hit a milli. Play the block still. Shit illy when the pot spill. See me moving through the city, shit gritty, but we out chill. Don't smile cause ain't a damn thing funny. And fuck what you heard, everybody change for money. Never been a dummy, nor did what the dummies do. I win either way, nigga. Copy cool. I understand the weak, moving fad. I'm Puerto Rican.
You know what I'm saying?
Still hold relationships with that.
Word.
No, that's fire though.
You know
that means something. Can nobody ever take that away from you
at all.
Yeah, that's
a
legendary.
At all.
So after that, you come back home.
Oh man.
And
still playing street ball.
And we going, you know, not to cut you off because this is what I want to get into it. And I might be off, you know, we chilling, drink. I might be off on a year, but to me, this is what like not stamped you because you always, you know, to us New York, we know, right? But you went head up, NBA.
Multiple
and
NBA.
worked them. No, but this is one player, and I, you know,
changed everything.
Right, went head up, and he put the city on. He put the world on tilt.
Who's,
you know,
Vince
Carter. Right, if I'm not mistaken, it rained?
It was a rain.
Went to the show.
It was supposed to be outside, but
it was supposed to be outside. You know, the Gauchos was the rain site. So
he put something up.
He wasn't. He was on Fat Joe's. He was on Fat Joe's show, his podcast.
Right.
It's 20 years later, he finally talked about me.
Oh, he never talked about it? He never spoke about it? Word up? Oh, wow.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's like to wait to hear about how a nigga felt 20 years later, my nigga. That
nigga done retired the league.
To hear his opinion, like, yo.
Word up.
But he tweet something?
It's like I saved it.
Oh, that was the same. That was the
Twitter, like
that was when he was on Fat Joe.
Okay, it was on Fat Joe.
Okay,
so let's go there.
It took him 20 years.
Yeah, like let's go there. Like. Was you playing? You was with Terror Squad that day, right?
You
like
gotta be real, even for a nigga to remember 20 years later.
Nah, that's a fact.
Like
Hell
that was the
yeah.
one thing that he made. Like he like.
We know he knew. We know he never forgot.
I heard in the interview, like, yo, we play ball all the time, but it was like he was out there doing some shit that made me feel like I know I gotta play now because it's like he's showing me like I hope you ain't just come here to. And that was my attitude. It was like, yo, dog, I already know I'm getting ready to play against Prime. Like, Prime Objective was the nigga that everybody knew that was on Black Hand. So in my mind, I'm looking at getting ready to play Prime. I didn't know he was bringing him. Yo, just imagine this, bro.
He came a little late, Vince.
Yo, he shows up late, and as soon as the nigga sub in the game, bro, I'm telling you, shit clear as day. I watch the tape all the time, bro. Yo, as soon as the man come in the game, this nigga gonna come and guard me. It's Charles Jones on my team. He done played in the league. Lamont, he's a vet overseas. You telling me of all people you get on the court, why you coming to guard? And I said this to this man. It's word to my father grave, bro. I said, yo, dog, why you guard me? I'll never forget this, B. The man said to me, yo, I'm gonna make you better. You gonna see. I'm from Harlem. Fuck you mean? You gonna make
it ain't registered. Yeah, it didn't register at that.
It ain't hit me at that time when you said that. Like, I'm gonna make you better. What you?
Yeah.
Nah, we take that a little offensive, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Say, like, you gonna make me better, nigga. Like, nah, I play basketball just like you play basketball. What do you mean you gonna make me better? Well, let me make sure I show you something so that you know you ain't making me better. And that's what I did.
Straight
you
up.
Get what I'm saying? Like, psychologically, now that I'm a little older, that was my mindset. It was like, I grew up with niggas that made me feel as if, like, yo, hey, Cam used to always say this to me. Cam Ron Killer, nigga. Yo, they ain't. You don't sit there and let them niggas talk about them, nigga, because I'm letting you know, nigga, that they gonna be talking about them niggas, nigga. I'm just telling you. In other words, yo, like, you can't, if you got an opportunity to go up against a nigga where you know that that's the nigga that people talk about, in order for you to get people to talk about you, you got to kill that nigga.
Right. Mm.
So that was my mindset. It was like, I already know they talking, like I said, at that time, I knew that they talked about Prime Objective like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've already seen him playing in the tournament and the shit that he's doing against niggas at 6'8". This nigga is like a different type. He was like Penny at that time to me. You get what? Like, I saw Scotty, but this nigga, the shit that Prime was doing was
so
like.
You already, your mindset was already killed that game.
I'm just saying
I
I can watch what Al is doing at 6'8" in New York City. This nigga's from DC, so you gotta understand, traveling and playing ball with Gauchos and Riverside, you already kind of like got a feel for where or how guys play where they from.
Right.
Cali niggas, they jump high, nigga. They got a jump shot. It's certain niggas that you know play a certain way from where they from.
Right.
DC, you ain't never see a nigga playing like that, like Prime. You get what I'm trying? Like a nigga like rest in peace Kobe voucher for him to get a tryout. You get what I'm trying to say? So you can tell this nigga was a little different but special. You get what I'm trying to say? Like Al was nice, but Al couldn't shoot that three from damn near half court like Prime could. You get what I'm trying to say? That's all I'm saying. So
Right. No, that's a fact. So, I mean, you went head to head with Vince Carter
7 times. That's why I counted that. So it was 7 plays. Like, I got the table. It was 7 plays.
Okay,
like,
no, it's on YouTube.
Back to back to back.
It's on
back.
YouTube.
But I'll say
y'all
7.
could go check that
I'll
on
say
YouTube
7 because I hit the 4th 3. He missed. So it was like I came down to hit a 3. He came down to hit a 3. I came down to hit a 3. He came down to hit a 3. I came down and made a layup. He came down to dunk. I came down and hit a 3. He came down to hit a 3.
Right, yeah, right.
I came down and hit the last 3. He came down and missed.
and then he did that windmill shit, right?
The nigga gonna throw the nigga the alley and this nigga gonna windmill. You gotta understand at that time.
That's Vince.
We seen niggas windmill. You ain't never see a nigga catch the ball.
That's what I'm saying. That's Vince.
At that time, we never saw that with our own eyes.
Yo,
this nigga gonna do it in the game, my nigga.
Shit.
I mean, he missed that 3 though.
He did that. You know,
got him. You got him.
In my head, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna do this just to, whatever. I'm Vince, right? But this young boy
he showed his ass.
He held his own more than enough.
You showed your ass.
Let me just do this just because I'm Vince.
I got you.
I feel like he had to
yeah,
show.
but
yo, dog. If you coming at me like this with your game and doing what you doing, I'm going to show you what I'm capable of doing.
Right.
For sure.
And the shit that he jumping over Weiss and doing the shit that he's done in his lifetime, yo, dog, I was one of those people that brought that out of him. The whole, you get what I'm saying? Like, yo,
and
this
he
young
was
nigga coming up. And I'm quite sure he probably ain't even know I was a young nigga at that time. It's just a nigga playing ball against me.
He was the illest nigga at that time as far as like.
That's what I'm
saying. At that era, he was the illest nigga as far as the height, like how you like jumping and all that. Like
just watched him.
And shout out to Vince because not even though he was dumb nice overall.
We watched him a whole year in the NBA. His first year in the NBA coming out of North Carolina as Rookie of the Year. Yeah. So automatically a nigga like that getting on the court, that's what's ringing off in my head. This nigga Rookie of the Year and he gonna come straight up and guard me. I ain't saying, I'm not saying it in my back of my mind at that time. I'm saying I got one. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm going at this.
That's it, bro. I'm not backing down.
I got to give a shout out always Lamont Jones and Charles Jones. Now that I'm a little older, man, I realize how those guys allow me to do the things that I was able to do. Like, you know how when you playing ball with people, like Charles Jones was the leading scorer in the nation for 2 years in a row in college. So for me at that time, for him to take not saying the back seat, to allow me to do some of the things that I was doing in Rucker at a young age, knowing he was who he is, I respect him. I always give him his props. You get what I'm saying? Lamont Jones.
Right.
I wasn't a point guard. I ain't never really, my nickname a whole lot of game, nigga. I ain't never really looked to pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Lamont Jones knew when not to give Adrian the ball and control the game. You get what I'm saying? Like, I always got to give props to niggas that I know was played big parts on why I get the love that I get because I was a part of, doing some of the things I was doing to become a legend.
Right.
So it's like Kareem Reed, like, not so much to me. Like, I fuck with Steph, but I don't always give. Steph used to come pick me up in a silver Bentley and drop me off in a blue Ferrari. This when I was in high school.
Steph was the first nigga we seen with a Bentley in the hood.
I'm telling y'all stories now, man.
Let's talk about it.
Steph was playing with the Nets, nigga.
Right. So he close to home.
Frank something. White guy named Lawrence.
Frank Lawrence.
He was the third assistant coach. He used to work me and Steph out in the joint. This is shit that Fat Joe used to do to make sure that he got me to play on his team. He got Steph to take me to work out with him at the Nets facility. Yeah, you know that drill with a coach stand in the middle of y'all and y'all on the baseline and he throw the ball and y'all gotta get the ball at half court. Whoever get it first, y'all. I used to dog Steph. I used to dog Steph to where like that man I just named, Lawrence Frank, used to be like, yo, who is this kid? He can't talk to me in high school. Just working out with him. Used to dog him.
What up, though? I love y'all too. Y'all know this. Sing with me. I was always this hard, nigga. My heart still couple thousand till I hit a milli. Play the block still. Shit illy.
So Terror Squad, let's talk about the Terror Squad.
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Always give Tony Rosa his shout out first, because before I went to Terror Squad and give them their praise,
I'm glad you said that.
He stole me. Well, he robbed me.
You heard I said Tony Rosa. Tony Rosa.
Right.
So
He bribed me to stop playing for Tony Rosa. You know what I'm saying? Like I was I'ma always give Tony Rosa.
Shout out to Tony Rosa. Mustangs.
That's why I was talking about LJ and CJ, because that's the team that I played on first.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So they named me 357. My first 7 years, I went to the championship 5 times and I won 3. But I got to give Tony Rosa his shout out, because my first championship, the one that meant the most to me, nigga, was Tony Rosa. Nigga, now that you go into them, I was getting benched, nigga. It was Kareem Reed that was loved by Mousy, and it was Stephon Marbury that was loved by Fat Joe. Right? And this nigga Steph had the nerve to be telling me that I gotta come behind Zach.
Oh man,
cause that's his brother.
I played with.
I'm starting to tell shit.
That's
that
right.
I
No.
Told, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Let's go. Let's get into it.
It was a tournament in Jersey that we played for Fat Joe, man. Like, I had a fight with Mousy. I punched Mousy in his mouth. Like, it was moments and times that I couldn't take that no more. Y'all niggas is playing
Shout out Mouse.
too much, bro.
Nah, no doubt.
Yo, Joe,
that's
it's not
a
enough
fact.
money that you could give me. Now that I'm older, they know this is past tense. You get what I'm saying? But it's not enough money that you could give me at the time that I knew who I was, that I know y'all trying to take away from me because of your favoritism with certain people.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to fight. That's why I always talk and speak about Rucker in my life. Because no matter, watch this, whether I was playing with Lenny Cook, Julius Hodge, Charles Jones, Lamont Jones. Now, these guys that I'm saying, North Carolina State, Lenny Cook, #1 high school player in the country. Charles Jones, two-time lead in scoring, NCAA back-to-back, LIU, right?
Yeah.
Went to the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
LJ, overseas professional, European League killing, right?
Yeah.
Antoine Doby. All of these guys is on my team. I'm still that nigga.
Yeah,
don't never forget that. Fat Joe with Stephon Marbury, all of those players. Kareem Reed, all of those players. Ron Artest, all of those players. But I'm still that nigga. Long as y'all don't never forget that when it come to me. I didn't never give a fuck who was on my team. I'm still was gonna be that nigga. That was always my attitude.
Right.
So when we get ready to talk today, that's the one thing I'm going to always bring up. You could tell me, yo, I played with this nigga. You could tell me that nigga was nice. And one thing you can't tell me is when y'all sitting here watching TV, when all the nice niggas play together, what was you doing?
Right.
I was that nigga. I wasn't on the team. I was that nigga.
That's a fact.
I ain't gonna never forget that. Yo, dog, Fat Joe paid niggas to sit there. Do you understand? Fat Joe brought Lenny, Charles, he took Tony Rosa, like 5-6 players from Tony Rosa. Tyrone Grant, Reggie Freeman, he took the whole competition and brought them to Terror Squad. All them niggas didn't mind getting paid sitting on the bench. I'm trying to tell you what the money did at that time, nigga. They know all of them niggas took the money and they sat on the bench. They ain't give a fuck. 800 a game, 400 a game. I'm showing up. I ain't got to play no more wild. When I was playing on other teams, I was getting 100, 150, 200.
Right, again.
Fat Joe sitting up here, he telling us to meet us in Jimmy's. He giving niggas food, all type of shit, nigga. You get what I'm saying? All I got to do is come and sit on the bench, nigga, and not play against him. I'm getting 800. They was all taking that 800, all of them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah, that was that time. So you could imagine, like you
said,
for
that.
The niggas that was sitting on the bench just to do it. So imagine niggas that's on, you know what I'm saying?
Reg Freeman went, you gotta understand something. Reg Freeman is the 3rd or 4th leading scorer ever in the University of Texas.
Yeah, shout out Reg
Tyrone
Freeman.
Grant went to St. John's University, bro.
Right.
I'm telling you guys, Charles Jones was on LIU. I'm telling you guys that was on my team with Fat Joe, Stephon, all of them, right? They could take the money and sit. They've already did what they needed to do on certain levels. That was my level. You couldn't do that to me, bro.
Right.
Wasn't trying to hear none of that. When people used to say, yo, A used to have an attitude back there, that was my only Madison Square Garden, bro.
It was that part.
You
That's
get
a
what
fact.
I'm trying to say?
But Fat Joe wasn't paying Steph to come out, right?
What you mean?
You think
he took care of things, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm just saying you don't really gotta pay a nigga that. I'm just saying he got his own money, but if you hypothetically speaking, if I got my own money, I got my own things to do.
Right.
But yo, if I want you to come to a game, I don't have a problem with making sure you got a flight and making sure car service pick you up and if you need a hotel. Those things come along with
the perks as far as stuff. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because if I don't do it, you going to be paying for that somewhere else doing the things that you do.
Right.
But if I could use you for that, I don't have that comes along with it. So it's like I don't want to say Fat Joe was paying him, but if
he take care of things like you said,
like you said,
flying them out, you got
flying them out,
right?
Making sure he at where he got to be.
Yeah, right. See them like meet up at the trunk, like he putting niggas up. He putting them in hotels and he send in the limo to come and pick all of them up.
Right. No, that's a fact.
That's part of
Yeah.
That's how that.
So
thing
let me. In street ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably say Vince. And if not Vince, who was your toughest competition?
Jamal Tinsley. I never say Vince was, nigga. I'm always listen. I don't care who is from New York, who's nice. They call a nigga the abuser for a reason.
Jamal Tinsley.
Yeah. Jamal Tinsley is the nicest nigga I ever played against. I'm always, any interview I ever speak on, anybody ever asks me that, I've always said that. They always could find that.
The toughest.
Jamal Tinsley is the toughest nigga that I ever played against.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
and this is a pro. This is
no,
not only a pro. Yeah. Like Indiana was good at that time. Like he was they starting point guard.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm talking about I could see myself getting the best of him. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But if you asking me what's a nigga that might have killed you before, Mike James. I ain't know who that nigga was.
Yo, Mike James from upstate, right?
Long Island.
Long Island.
Let me explain something to y'all.
Remember Mike James? Mike James journeyman played in the NBA.
He won for Detroit. I mean, Houston. Houston Rockets.
But he played. He
played with Toronto Raptors.
I didn't know he was a New Yorker. Right. I didn't know he was a New Yorker until later on.
Amityville.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, you always got to remember this. Amityville, Long Island, all of those guys, my nigga, they keep Mount Vernon, been going, all these, keep, those my niggas. You gotta understand, I talk to these, they keep Danny Green, they keep chips on their shoulders.
Right, Danny Green, a Long Island
they
nigga.
feel like y'all niggas only talk about the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, the 5 boroughs.
They
part of
from
New York.
Too.
They're part of New
and
York.
And they be feeling some type of, Mike
like,
James.
Elton Brand.
Right?
Elton Brand from
Peekskill.
Right, right. Poughkeepsie,
Catskill.
You know what I'm saying? We don't see that as the 5 boroughs.
Of course
not.
Well, the 4 boroughs, because y'all niggas don't even be talking about Staten Island.
Yeah, that's
but my thing is,
shout out to Staten Island.
I'm just saying, shout out to Staten Island. Right? When I talk to those people that's from those places, they be telling me that, like, these niggas don't be giving us no props, but keep that up. Mike James, I played against Mike James when they had Pro City and Hunter College. I was on Terror Squad. I still got my jersey.
That shit was live in Hunter College.
Watch this, look. And I even talked with him about this, like, things I don't never forget, bro. Imagine not knowing a nigga, but
he knew you.
Halftime, he got 30.
Damn.
All the niggas that came with me, I'm from the Rucker. Everybody knew me. All my niggas left.
At halftime? Ooh.
We ended the game. He had 54. I had 45. I won in double overtime. From that point on, he had wild respect for me. But it's just shit like that I remember. I never let no nigga have no 50 on me. From this day forward, I could say his name, nigga.
Damn.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
I didn't know who that nigga was, but the way that nigga was shooting from half court, the way he was shooting from damn near. You gotta understand, I'm playing against Andre Barrett and these niggas, so I don't look at their gun like that.
Right.
I'm not looking at us like Steph, like
going against pros.
Steph is not. He's shooting the 3, but he not. You only see Steph shooting that from half and Gauchos, certain places that he's familiar with.
Yeah.
You don't see him always shooting half court 3s, bro. You get what I'm saying? You might see him shoot every now and then and drop. But you're not seeing him do what he do in Gauchos everywhere everywhere else. You get what I'm trying to say? That nigga was shooting. Mike James was shooting from half court, my nigga, in Hunter College, bro.
And he wasn't even
fucked me up back then. You know what I'm saying? Like to where, like I said, niggas 20 years later, nigga, I make sure I remember a nigga name.
Pro. Straight pro.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Lituation is a herbal liqueur. All natural herbs soaked in 100% grain liquor. Yeah, you heard that. All natural herbs. Each bottle has its own ginseng root soaking, giving it that extra energy kick. Again, all natural herbs being used to help keep that blood flowing. Tired of that hard liquor and a hangover? Fellas, if you know, then you know. Get with your lady, get you a bottle of this right here, and make it a Lituation. Make sure y'all go follow them at Lituation Drink on Instagram. Check it out. It's good, it's natural, and it definitely going to help keep that blood flowing. Lituation Drink, y'all. Check it out. And you head up with Ron Artest.
Oh, man, Ron. Shout out to Ron. Meta World Peace. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to they daddy.
No.
You get what I'm trying to tell you? A lot of niggas, their dad, like, once again, we talk about dads. You get what I'm saying? Like, their dad was a warrior.
Though. That's for real shit, man.
And when you look at Ron, like, that's where they all get it from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His dad. But Ron, I played with Ron and I played against Ron.
Right.
Like, Ron played with me with Terror Squad. Ron played with me with Tony Rosa. But I've also played against him when he played with other teams, QB or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But how do I say it? Those type of people always made me realize that I ain't really have a problem playing against regular people.
Right.
If I could hold my own with those guys, it was like
should be good.
No disrespect. That's why I talk the way I talk when I talk about like Smoosh. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to disrespect niggas like that because
right.
a nigga like Ron Artest felt like he could guard me, and I really had to show him like I'm like I was a nigga that you can't keep up with. You get what I'm saying? And this is a nigga at that time that plays D. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I always looked at guys like Homicide. Like, those guys had to pick other guys that was nice in order to get people to know that they were nice. All I'm saying is I was one of those niggas that they had to say, I got to play against that nigga.
Word up.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you see who my niggas was that I said that about? Like Vince and NBA niggas. Like these niggas used to pick me, a streetball nigga that went to alternative school to get their props off of. At least my motivation was niggas that made it to UNC and played in the league.
Word.
That's what makes me legendary. You get what I'm saying? Like they props. No disrespect to them, but this is what's in their stories.
Oh, it's no
you
disrespect, man.
These guys used
did
to
what
say,
you did.
like, yo,
you did what you did.
I need to have Al on my list, and I needed this nigga on my list, and I had so like their sights was on the niggas that they felt like people talked about. You see, when y'all ask me who I talk about, yeah, you heard me, a McDonald's All-American. Y'all niggas was talking about Andre and them. You ain't hear me bringing up Jesse Sapp. No disrespect to Sapp, I'm just saying, but you ain't hear me. You don't hear me bringing up his name. Like I'm looking for him. I'm looking for homicide, and now I'm looking for them niggas. You get what I'm saying? But them niggas was looking for me.
Right. Right. Now you said Vince came in the joint to guard you.
This nigga get. How did he know me? What do you think Prime Objective was saying to him about me on the way there? Yo, I know they all talking about Charles and them. I know they, but it's a nigga that was on their team that, yo, telling you this guard nigga, yo, guard him. I'm telling you, he's the nigga. Like they don't be thinking about this. Even in the documentary, in the TNT special.
Sleep on hollow ground.
On hollow ground. When you hear
I can't find that shit for nothing. Nowhere. Nowhere.
I'll send it to you on the joint.
Yeah, I want to watch that. That's a classic, man.
Vacant
it's
Lot
been a while.
was undefeated, and they say this in the documentary. There's an 18-year-old. That's the best player. That whole fight started because of me, bro. Bad boy. Jim, that all started because of me. Right. Jim is around my man Tiger from Uptown on 40th. It's a nigga from Brooklyn telling them niggas, bad boy, fuck this nigga Brooklyn, this nigga Tiger drunk off that old E. Nigga, fuck Brooklyn, fuck Biggie. Nigga, fuck y'all niggas talking about. Rest in peace, happy birthday, Big.
Yeah.
But this is what my nigga Tiger was saying from 40th.
Yeah, because that shit did come out of nowhere.
Look over there to that bitch, nigga, the wolf, and the niggas walked around. Come on, man. They don't tell these stories, but I know the story. Jim can't stand there around 40 of niggas while they swing on niggas. You jump in, but they wanted to do something to you too anyway because you was around them. You get what I'm saying? Whatever issues they might have had, here was a perfect time where we could set it off on this nigga. He said, fuck Big.
Right.
He just walked right. Look, nigga.
Yeah, that's
Diddy and them bitch right here. I got
was
to take
crazy.
They walk right over here to where they at, where everybody was standing at before you could sit down, right here. Pop off. That went from right there all the way to the ground where Jim is right there on the floor. He got up out of there, ran to the middle of the court, pulled a thing out of his shoe. Them niggas back up. Enough time to
get over that joint. Yeah.
I don't remember nothing. Everything is clear to me. You get what I'm saying? I was killing
crazy.
these niggas. He fucked my game up. You get what I'm saying? I scored like the first 12, 14 points. Like I said, but they show that in the documentary to how something like that happens from that. And like I said, people don't really know what the real story was. But like I said, like Jim not gonna stand there. Cam is from 40 if you're around 40 of niggas, whether Tiger was out of line for saying fuck Big, Harlem, my nigga out here killing these niggas. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whether that was a perfect time for them niggas to do whatever they want for whatever energy they already had towards Jim, it was, get what I'm saying? Fuck the game. TV cameras and all that is out here. You know how that is.
Brooklyn,
You know what I'm
Harlem,
saying?
that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. So another thing I wanted to ask you, besides the street ball shit, you did the CBA thing or something, right?
Yeah, I ain't really, how you say it? I dibble-dabble, but I've never really played professional basketball. Like, I've never really, took none of that stuff.
Did you ever really go hard at it?
Like, I might have did something here and there to help a team or make a check or whatever the case may be, but I ain't never, yo, bro.
It goes back to what you said as far as, the passion, you.
I've learned at a young age I've been involved with the stock market since 2005, 2003.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure if y'all remember, I used to play for a team called H3, Hip Hop Soda Shops. Like back then I was doing hip hop soda shops, cyber restaurants. But long story short, I've always been a part of the stock market. I've always been educated on the stock market.
Right.
And when I say educated, like, y'all niggas is going to buy $140 GameStop stocks. Y'all niggas that have no idea of the pink sheets. Y'all have no idea of penny stocks. Coming from poverty, that's where your money should be invested. If you waste $1,500, $2,000 on weed, liquor, whatever if you put $15,000 and $2,000 into a penny stock and just left it and just did your education on that small company and wanted to see how that company could possibly grow with certain other people added to it, maybe public figures or whatever, you'll watch something that you got rid of, whether it was on clothes, liquor, or whatever, that you never gonna see back, versus that same 2,000 that sat over there that could wind up blowing up to turn into 200,000 and change your life. I ain't never tell nobody those type of secrets with me, but it was like, I ain't never care about going overseas. I ain't never care about my niggas doing 8-10 months away from their family, their kids, and making the money they made. I did all of that shit in day trading in 3 days, bro. You day trade, you can make money in 3 days if you understand what you get what I'm saying. So where I'm at today is like, I've always been in that world to where I understand today. Public companies look for public figures.
Right.
Y'all talking to me about Rucker. I came from nothing but public figures. I've been around and I'm highly respected by nothing but public figures. The one thing I learned is, if you go to a feast and you bring food to a feast, the host will always pull a chair out for you.
Yeah.
But if you always going to a feast and you always just eating, or you just taking to go and you feel like you could do that just because, you know, it's a feast, or I know the person, or I know people, or they fuck with me, you liable to not always be at that table no more. So the one thing I've always learned is, I've always been cool, connected, and always built relationships and friendship with friends that have been blessed and fortunate to make it over the humps that I haven't. That I, at the moment, at a time that I didn't. So my thing was always, I ain't never want to be a nigga to be around my rich friends just to be around them. Like, I don't like to say I know Cameron. If I can't do nothing for Cameron, or he can't do nothing for me, that shit don't matter to me. But a lot of us like to say we know somebody. Like, that doesn't pay your bills, bro.
No.
So what difference does it make that you could take a picture with a nigga like Dave East? That shit don't do nothing. Like, that's our nigga. We know him, but if it doesn't change your life, or you can't do no business for him or bring business to him, none of that shit matters. You just know another nigga. You get what I'm trying to say? So my thing was, I figured out how to utilize that to my advantage. In other words, like I said, startup companies, they look for public figures.
Right.
Why? Because they need someone in this space, this world. If you're building with young kids, listening to them, they need those type of people that like to promote on their social media, that has all of these followers. They look at them as influencers, right?
Right. No, that's
what that whole thing is about.
You know
What's next? What's coming up? You know,
So
what's the next thing?
So you think playing ball, getting paid, kind of helped you out and gave you that vision for shit
Safe
like
to say
that?
basketball paved the way.
Basketball opened up the door, because I could say that's a Jewish guy came to me, and when I was playing in Rucker, because he knew I knew Fat Joe and Cameron, and just wanted to build from there.
Right. No,
So
that's what I'm
just
saying.
Like,
playing
basketball
ball
has opened up
doors.
a lot of different doors, but it's like, what do you do with basketball? Do you look at basketball as something that you have to always physically do, or is there ways that you could utilize basketball to help others but still benefit off of it?
Right.
You gotta have passion and all of that. You get what I'm trying to say? My point is that when it comes to basketball, one thing that I learned, like, I don't want to coach no kids. I don't mind running an academy, but I don't want to coach no kids. You got to have a certain type of discipline to coach kids.
Hell yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying that because kids today, once again, like we was talking about, they're exposed to so much that they challenging you, coach. They act like what they seeing on social media and all of that is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you've been through it to understand what you telling them is something that they need to listen to.
Right.
But once again, that's where the disconnect is at, and they fighting that. So to me, it's like, how do you help that? And that's why I was talking to y'all. I'm in a space now where y'all know what a resort is. In other words, you ever seen kids parasailing at lunchtime?
Hell no.
A kid from Harlem could never fathom that. We won't have an opportunity. And one, we live in New York. One, two, we not around no lake. We don't have space. Things
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. This because of basketball, because of being in the world that I've been at, I've been around people, like I said, that they use wealth to make like they invest wealth into things that they know can be generational, but they don't have people like us that's educated to know how to make them see that it'll work for
us as well. Right.
So it's like our friends that you might know from New York that play ball or in our city, that come from our city, that make money, they hire other people to do the things that they not well educated on. You get what I'm trying to say? So whatever someone else doesn't come back to tell them that'll make them some money, they not even hearing it.
Right.
How many opportunities do you think they really have to where they could change people's lives? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a lot of those opportunities. So what I'm trying to say to you is, we need somebody, and we need guys that's on the inside to learn how to get educated, to educate them.
Right.
In other words, you can't how did I tell them this? Like, you can't just look at guys that like Rod Strickland or Stephon Marbury, so many guys that went to Gauchos that needs to turn around Taj Gibson and just invest back into Gauchos. Yo, you've been running a nonprofit for 70 years, a foundation for 70 years. Change it. AAU has a bad stigma on it, right? I'm quite sure at times AAU has a bad stigma on it, right?
It does.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
What if Gauchos turned into an academy? Now you added an educational component.
So what do you think? So what are you saying? Like, how do we fix this? Like,
Yo, dog.
with the older with the
new programs.
Watch this. Ready? If you don't want to keep working for people, you got to get those people to see what they can't see. And the only way that they can see it is if you get around them,
right,
and you put them on. So in other words, you can't tell a rich person what to do because there's a lot of broke people for sale.
Okay.
So don't get around a white man and just be telling him what he should be doing.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But you can't get around a white man and let him see that.
You gotta show him.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
There's a lot that they can learn from us versus feeling like, you get what I'm trying to say? And there's not a lot of watch this. Just tell me if it makes sense. What's the one thing that they scared of?
Black man.
Educated
A smart
one.
black man. Education.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Educated
So
black
now,
man. That's a fact.
when I say that, meaning you can't tell me what you gonna give me.
Gotta show me.
But I'm educated enough on what I deserve. So if I know what I'm bringing to the table, I tell you what I'm gonna get. And that's what I'm trying to say to you about being in the stock world with me. I've always been able to tell people what I want because I always knew what I was able to bring to the table.
Right.
Once again, that goes back to a feast. I have a lot of rich friends that already got food. They already got money. So how can I help them?
Because you know you could bring something to the table, though.
If you bring them more money, guess what they'll start doing?
That's
They'll start putting a cheer out for you. Yo, come on over.
Yeah.
Yo, I like hanging with you. I
Hell
like
yeah.
and all I'm saying is these things should be beneficial. In other words, none of this mean nothing if the listener can't get something from it.
Right.
So I don't talk if we not learning nothing from
that's
it.
a fact.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't like to just sit around and be, if you can't, like, two people is supposed to help the third.
Right.
Like, me and you is not supposed to be doing anything if we not doing anything that helps someone else.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
If anything that me and you just sitting here doing with each other, guess what? Guess what the outcome
all we doing is
be?
entertaining each other.
But guess what the outcome gonna be? Some form of power.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Just building.
One way or another, I'm gonna show, or you gonna try to show me who better than who.
Yeah.
But if me and you got an ultimate goal of having a conversation to do something for someone else,
right.
the power thing will never get in.
Hell no.
You get what I'm just saying
fact.
that these kind of conversations be valuable of, well, what you doing with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nah, nigga, I don't want to coach kids. Like, I've done that. I've experienced that. But now that I've experienced that,
some you don't
I'm
want to
around
do.
rich friends that have foundations that need to learn how to invest their money into their foundations to get tax write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
If you get millions of dollars and they tax your money about $200,000, you know how many scholarships or kids' lives you could change with that $200,000 that'll come back to you on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have educated people around them to put them on to how to utilize their and that's what I'm trying to say. We need to start looking at these public companies and things that we could get our friends in and put our friends on, or the niggas that we say we know, instead of you just running around all day talking about you know a nigga.
Yeah.
You don't get no props, no like. You still just want likes and followers off of saying you know Cam.
That's the days,
Jim
B.
Jones.
That's
you know
these days,
y'all
right,
niggas
man.
is
But like you said, that's the time that we living in, and you know,
it's horrible.
That's why it's good to hear what you're saying, because
it's bigger than basketball and sports, man. Like,
it's definitely important to understand that, man. For these young boys to understand that.
So
boys and girls.
What's next, man? What you got going on now? Before we get out of there, let's speak about what you got going on now, man, or what you looking to do.
I mean, there's a documentary that's getting ready to come out in June. I think it's July or August, called Point Guards. I don't think if y'all been seeing it, I don't know, but it's like a big documentary on all the New York City point guards. It's about Sham God, Kenny Anderson, Kenny Smith. Like, it's like 4, 5, 6 of them. It's like all the big point guards, but it
made that cut.
It got different interviews with like Andre Barrett, Omar Cook, different like all Cameron, all the different niggas that really, you know what I mean, that put work in, you know what I'm saying, as a point guard. And like I said, I'm not one of, you'll see it when it comes, but like I said, for me, hearing from the director, I'm not one of the main stars.
Okay.
But I get just as much as time.
You mentioned in there, though.
Documentary as the main stars.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's only based off of, like he said, you know, the way that I talk, the things that I've done, like how unique the stories are. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's not too many street ball players that you could see that has, like I said, I've went from being a street ball player to a director of community outreach for a public trading company.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I stopped working. Like, I went actually and worked for Mount Sinai. You know what I'm saying? I was a utility aide. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Something just hit me and was like, the working world is not for me.
Nah, I feel you.
Like, I didn't feel, and I don't promote that for everybody, but like I said,
ain't
like,
nothing wrong with that.
Fat Joe said to me a long time ago, like, yo, your Rolodex is kind of big. And I'm like, what you talking? He's like, yo, I just was looking at your texts and you scrolling, nigga. Look at all these fucking people you keep texting. Baron Davis, Jermaine O'Neal, you keep texting all these. So it's like and he's basically trying to say to me, like, it's mad different things that people that I'm connected to that right now, even as I'm talking to y'all, I've gotten water in Africa. Through Joakim Noah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my man, and he's from New York, but it's like, he's from Cameroon, Africa, and he's doing different things in Africa, and it's like he's an ambassador for the NBA Cares, and they done donated $1 billion in Africa. And in my mind, I work for a public trading company that has water machines that take humidity from the air and turn it into water. I put 2 and 2 together saying, like, Africa has a water crisis. My man trying to do things for kids in Africa. Let's try to change and save some lives. Let's get some water machines in Africa.
Right.
They don't have to go and keep drinking dirty water. Now that done turned into a whole nother big thing where you I don't want to speak too much on it, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like I just said, you got different people that has different.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying? To where it's like you talking things now like $1 billion things going on that you are part of because you changing lives and you just like once again you never know how any of that stuff turns out. And I'm only gonna say this why, because my NBA friends, my rapper friends, my entertainment friends, they all have access to media.
Right.
Once the media starts to catch on, and I'm talking about the media that me and you different from. Like Shamgar could go into Rock Nation.
Yeah. Right.
You get what I'm saying? He can go and have a conversation with Mark Cuban. We have friends that's really tied to different spaces that you just never know.
Right.
But if you put them in situations, you really never know. You get what I'm trying to say? Is like sometimes all I'm saying is me coming from basketball, what I've learned how to do is never stop trying to learn how to connect dots. A lot of people give up because certain dots don't fit or it's not painting out a certain picture that they want. You get what I'm saying? Like you never supposed to stop connecting dots. You know what I mean? And
that's what I said. Which is what it's ultimately about.
And that's where you go. That's how you grow.
Instead of just saying that I got these people, I know them, and just try to lean on them to do this, that, and the third. Like you said, what I can do for you. You know, like I know you, and that's cool. That's okay.
Right.
What can I bring to your table?
Right. Yo, that's a fact.
Know where we from.
No doubt.
There's a lot of people that
that's
grow,
the humbleness,
there's a lot
man.
of people that grow up with, how do you say it, entitlement. Like, you might think that somebody that you was cool with, that you grew up with when you was younger, you know, whatever love that you might have had for them or they might have had for you when they was younger, they got an 18-year-old child now today. It doesn't mean that they don't love you anymore, but responsibilities and things have changed. So I can't look at Cam as if a person that used to look out for me when I was younger still having to take care of me today as a grown man. You keep that view of them in you or with you like that versus saying, you know, being that I do know this person and I know how the world gravitates to a person like that, how can I bring something their way that I can be connected to that maybe could help change my life? That's what I'm saying. Like, people are not looking at what is it that you can bring to the table. People are looking at a sense of entitlement as just because I know you, you owe me something. And like, think about it, dog. Like, why you think a lot of them don't come back? Like, yo, dog, you know how many niggas that made it from the hood, people that die, they act like you supposed to pay the funeral, bro? Like, yo, dog, I didn't even know this nigga. I was just saying what's up. Like, why you feel like I just because I said what's up to him, I gotta be the nigga. But you made it to a certain level, and all I'm saying is the hood holds people to that
expectations.
And all I'm saying is if hearing things like this, if you shift that and say, yo, I'm gonna bring something that nigga that I don't think your feelings will be the same way towards a nigga anymore. Now, like, cause you won't feel like, oh, this nigga dissing me, he don't answer my call. Nah, what nigga not gonna answer your call that you trying to get money for? You trying to bring him money? Hold on. You telling me that you could get money? Watch this. I'm gonna say it one more time. What's up, Ken? You telling me you could get money just off of saying that you could bring somebody to the table? And if that person that you brought to the table chooses to do the business because, just hypothetically speaking, it might be in the field of something that they do or like. I mean, if you educated on them and you know what you may be bringing them that they might like or might fuck with, that could possibly change your life. All I'm saying to you is the stock world, bro. There's a reason why we haven't been in it. It's life change.
Yeah, they keep
I'm talking about, just think about, watch this. Hypothetically telling people and letting people know the type of people you could bring to the table. And you have 300 million shit. I just want 2. Just give me 2 and we'll go from there. Get what I'm saying? So now I just leave it at this. If you tell a nigga, yo, A nigga give you.
Me too. All right, watch yourself.
A nigga give you 2 million shares. Just watch
What
this.
she do? What she
Nigga
do?
just told her.
I told her, watch it.
You know I'm gonna do it, right?
Yo, nigga.
I love
Love
you,
you too,
cousin.
cuz.
Hey, yo, nigga give you two. Just hypothetically speaking.
Yeah,
a nigga
I
give
don't
you
worry about
2
it. We got
million
that, bro.
shares, real quick, right? Nigga give you 2 million shares. 10 cent. If you took 100,000 shares, just remember I'm telling you this. This is education for people. 100,000 shares. If someone gave you, because of the business that you could bring to their company, so someone out of the shares that they had, if they're CEO, they gave you 2 million shares because they feel like you could bring some business to them, right? 100,000 shares at 10 cent, $10,000.
Right.
100,000 shares at 50 cent, $50,000.
Right.
100,000 shares at $1, $100,000. So that means 1 million shares at $1,
It's $1 million.
$1 million. Right?
That's crazy.
How do you get your stock from 2 cent to $1? Now I'm quite sure you got to keep working and, you know, talking about shit that you're doing with the company, you're building it up. But goddamn, if you got a celebrity that's backing your shit up and talking about your shit
Hell
and putting
yeah.
your shit in different spaces where it's getting exposed more because of the followers and influence that they have, shit, you probably could get to $1 quicker. Right?
So I gotta keep them
Yo,
relationships.
bro, I ain't got nothing to do with what you negotiated with my friends.
Right, right.
But I'm very educated on how to negotiate for myself before you speak to my friends.
No doubt.
I'll leave it at that.
That's it.
That's
Before we get out of there, I want to, you know, make a
Oh,
little
that's
something for you. A
legendary.
little StreetBall Legend joint, man.
Oh, you already know I'm gonna put that
You know?
together with the whole
Yeah.
lot of game
Whole
on
lot
the
of
back.
game.
Hell yeah, man.
My nigga, good looking.
But I definitely appreciate you
And that's
coming
a Kobe
through,
color,
man.
You heard?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
definitely the Kobe or Rucker, nigga.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold that.
But y'all heard that shit, man. Y'all heard the basketball. He gave y'all game on the stock market, on life. You know what I mean? Hey, Butter, man, I appreciate you coming through again, man.
Appreciate y'all having me. You know
Definitely,
that. For
man.
life, nigga, for
Word.
real.
Y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. It's another episode, Apt.1D Podcast, man. Y'all go tune in. Y'all subscribe on YouTube. And we out of here.
Love is
One.
love.
Yes, yes.